What's going on, Ravens fans? Another big game against those hated Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Last time we asked you guys to like the video to bring home a win, it worked. But it was way too close for comfort against the Cleveland Browns, so we need even more likes on this video. So hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get several hundred likes on today's show, and let's go beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome into the Ravens Rundown. I am Harrison Graham from Chat Sports, and we're here to preview this matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a hated rivalry. I still think it's the best rivalry in the National Football League. Ravens are 4.5-point favorites in this one, the over-under at 44 points. So Vegas anticipating one of those classic low-scoring affairs between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, which, of course, is how it's been for a very, very long time. But if you're Baltimore, a chance to extend your lead in first place in the division and in the conference as a whole. Lots to break down. We'll talk some injuries. We'll talk some keys to victory if we can find all of them. But first, predict the score between the Ravens and the Steelers. Get your score predictions in right now. Let us know who you think is going to win and what the final score will end up being. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so go ahead and get your score predictions in. Let's break down these offenses, too, side by side, and then we'll take a look at the defenses here in a little bit. Total yards per game favors Baltimore. Passing, pretty even. Obviously, the Ravens want to run the football with Lamar Jackson and their running backs. That's where the difference is, right? Pittsburgh has struggled to run the football this year. Baltimore's been near the top of the league in that category. Points per game, about a 4-point difference. And then giveaways. The Ravens have actually been turning the ball over a lot, especially recently, and Lamar Jackson uncharacteristically had 4 picks against Cleveland, which is what made that win so remarkable, lamarkable, some might say. This is just uncharacteristic for him to throw 4 interceptions in one game, but he was able to still pull out the win. At least he was effective running the ball for 68 yards, 4 yards per carry on that one. But yeah, the turnovers have been creeping up for Lamar and for Baltimore, and that is certainly something you can't really expect to get away with multiple weeks in a row. So look for that to be a focus this week from Baltimore to play much cleaner and much crisper football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will Lamar Jackson have a bounce-back game against the Steelers? I believe he will. Type Y for yes, type in for no. This is a quarterback that does not struggle multiple weeks in a row. I think Lamar will be back to being Lamar this week. Let us know in the comments Y for yes or in for no. Let's break down the defenses now. Both good defenses, right? Yards per game allowed, pretty similar. Pass yards, that favors Pittsburgh. Rushing yards allowed, that favors Baltimore. So you go back thinking of the Steelers' rushing attack, which struggles, and the Ravens' rushing defense, which is excellent. For Pittsburgh to beat the Ravens here, they're going to have to really throw the football. So I think that favors Baltimore, who is a better overall football team overall. You make Pittsburgh one-dimensional with Ben Roethlisberger, I think that really, really helps your chances. And I think this run defense stopping Najee Harris should happen, because you look at the numbers there, you look at Baltimore's strengths, you look at Pittsburgh's weaknesses. While Najee Harris is a good back, he's just running behind a bad offensive line, and teams know that they can stack the box just like the Cincinnati Bengals did early on, forcing Big Ben into some early mistakes. He was taken out of this game before it even started with only 2.9 yards per carry on just those 8 carries. So I think the early focus, keep Najee Harris in check, force Big Ben to beat you, and hey, if you force Big Ben to beat you in 2021, that is going to be a recipe for success. More to get to on this preview in a moment, but if you want to bet on this game between the Ravens and the Steelers, go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code chat125. Put down $100. You get $125 for free. That is math. That is the 125% deposit bonus, but you have to use the link below, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code chat125. And again, Ravens, 4.5-point favorites in this one. It is in Pittsburgh, but I like the Ravens in this matchup. I think they're a much better team, and I think each team's strengths and weaknesses favors Baltimore heavily. I'd probably put some money on the Ravens. Let's talk injuries now. Some questionable players for the Ravens here. Jimmy Smith, Chris Westry in that secondary. Cedric Ogbuye as well at offensive tackle. Then Miles Boykin, who's been banged up quite a bit. Patrick Queen is questionable. He is dealing with a rib injury. We'll see if he's able to go. He's obviously a key player on this Ravens defense, one of the best linebackers on the team. Calais Campbell as well. who's in the concussion protocol. Hasn't given you, maybe as good of a season as you had hoped, but still a player that you would like to have out there. So two key defenders questionable in this matchup. For Pittsburgh, Pat Freiermuth questionable. That's a big one because he's Big Ben's favorite red zone target, the rookie tight end. Joe Hayden, a cornerback, is questionable as well. Robert Spillane, the linebacker, then Christian Kuntz, the long snapper. What are they going to do without him if he can't snap the ball back to punt? I'm kidding. I'm sure they'll have someone else ready to go. TJ Watt likely going to be out. He was placed on COVID protocols earlier this week. If it ends up being that it was a close contact, or if he gets 2 negative tests within 24 hour or with a 24-hour gap in between, sure, he could play, but it is not trending in that direction. When you get placed on the COVID list, that usually means you're going to miss that game. So we'll monitor this situation, but if you get to avoid TJ Watt, that is certainly a very favorable position if you are the Baltimore Ravens. Now, you Ravens fans may or may not know this, but we have a Pittsburgh Steelers YouTube channel, and we got to catch them in subs. Now, they had a head start, so it's really no slight to you guys, but the reality is the more subs we get here, the more videos we're allowed to do on this channel. That's just, that's democracy, right? The better you do, the better you can go. Capitalism 101. Steelers approaching 6,000 subs. Ravens almost at 2,500. Help us out. Subscribe. Let's catch up to that garbage-ass fan base, Pittsburgh Steelers. Hit that big red button and subscribe for more Ravens videos. All right, let's get to some keys to victory. I've located the first one. Pound the rock. Yeah, Devontae Freeman, Lamar Jackson, maybe Latavius Murray as well. Let's get this run game going. That's how the Ravens want to play. Obviously, that sets up play action for Lamar, and last week Lamar struggled throwing, so establish the run game early. Freeman's actually been much better than any of us thought when they added him. Latavius Murray returned last week or the week before. I think it was last week with injury, but he's just getting back into the mix of things, so get those two guys involved. Lamar can pull it, keep the ball as well, and get that run game going, chew some clock, and control the game the way you want to. Key number 2, pressure Big Ben Roethlisberger. Listen, Big Ben is just not the same guy. And if he's under pressure, you look at his PFF grade, 32 when he's under pressure. Why is that? Because his arm is shot. It is absolutely shot. So if he's throwing off his back foot, or if he's off platform, or dare I say he's having to throw on the run, it's bad news for the Steelers, and it's a great thing for the Baltimore Ravens. So that is that's a key. Get some pressure on him. If the pocket's clean, he can still make some throws, but if you get any pressure on him at all, that is a big one. Where's the third key? I thought we had another one. Oh, there it is. Start fast if you're the Ravens. And I think that kind of circles back to key number 1 is get the run game going, 4, 5, 6 yards a pop, and then, set up some big plays. Get an early lead. Pittsburgh is not built to come from behind. Cincinnati hit them in the mouth early, got a couple of touchdowns under their belt. Pittsburgh folded. They were not built to come back in that matchup. So I think that Baltimore can do the same thing, can implement the same ideology. Obviously, you want to start fast every week, but certain opponents are not built to come back, and that's Pittsburgh. They're not built to come back if they face an early 2-score deficit, and I think they folded after that early deficit against the Cincinnati Bengals. So there you go, some keys to victory. What's your biggest key to a Ravens win on Sunday? Honestly, for me, just win the turnover battle. If you win the turnover battle, you're going to win. You can't give Pittsburgh short fields. I think they're going to have a tough time scoring consistently if they're having to travel the length of the field. So don't turn the football over. Get a couple of turnovers yourself on defense, and you're going to be in good shape. But let us know what your biggest key to winning this game is. And this is a big game. Every game from here on out is huge because Baltimore is in the driver's seat to win the AFC despite kind of struggling recently. They found a way to win some games in ugly fashion against Chicago, and last week against who was it last week? Jeremy, that the Ravens played? Browns. Oh, my God. I had a brain fart there. The point is they've been winning ugly. Now, if they can get back to playing well, they have a real shot at winning the AFC and getting that number 1 overall seed, because the playoff picture, it's getting pretty tight between that 1st and that 6th seed. All right, predict the score one more time. Let us know what your final score prediction is and who is going to win right now in the comments. My prediction, this feels like a typical Ravens-Steelers slugfest. I think Baltimore emerges victorious 23-16. I think they'll get it done, but these games are rarely one-sided. They're typically close throughout, and I think that while Baltimore's clearly better, it could be another drag-it-out type of game. So get your score predictions in. We'll see you next time on the Ravens Rundown.